we've done before. So if you pick up the 1994, it's 12 years old. It's 56% alcohol. So please, when you smell it gently. Don't go in and try and sniff the alcohol straight into your nose. I'll tell you, I've done that once or twice. It makes your eyes water. Oh, believe you me. What smell do you get? Initially, you'll get a very faint peat smell that may be likened to something like leather or Hessian, or as American said to me this morning, burlap. Yes? But there's not a massive amount of flavour there. It seems quite closed. Now the reason for that is because the alcohol holds it. Now all of you have got a glass beside you, a water glass. Now I'd like you to put water in the glass. Because what I want you to do, I want you to put water with the whiskey. I have spent my life testing whiskey. And I don't test it at that strength, because on a normal day, I can test anything up to 12 or 1400 samples a day. Now, if I tried it at that strength, my nose would be numb within half an hour. If I tasted them, I'd be under the table within half an hour. Right? So I don't taste an awful lot. But if you put water with them, put about the same amount of water as there is whiskey. Not a great deal more. And what you will find, as soon as you've done that and given the glass a swirl, you'll find that the flavours will change. Now, give the glass a swirl. Is the flavour the same as it was without water? It's not, is it? You'll be able to pick up a lot more flavours. Now, the reason for that is that when you add water to whiskey, it actually warms the whiskey. And in warming the whiskey, it will drive off some of the flavours, and you'll get them in that space, that head space, above the top of the whiskey. Now, first of all, you should get a nice, soft, creamy type flavour. And I talked about puff candy. It's not puff candy. Puff candy is a very sugary flavour. It's more of a, what was that comment? Sorry? Citrus. Well done. Good. What type of citrus? I'm going to catch him. You're not going to get away with that. Oranges, lemons, oranges. But it's not orange marmalade. It's more like the orange zest. When you, if you smell it, think about the last time you peeled an orange and you put your nail into the orange itself. The skin, you got a zesty smell. Right? That's orange zest that's in there. You'll also get a little touch of lemon in there. But it's not as sharp as the orange. Very orange. But you talk to people about orange, they think of orange juice or marmalade. It isn't. It's the bitter, it's a zestiness. You will also get in there something like biscuits. But it's like a wholemeal biscuit. Have you been round the distillery yet for a tour? Yes, you have. Think of the malt. Not the peat, the actual malt itself, the barley. That's what you're going to get through there as well. Now, these are all different flavours that are in there, and there are hundreds upon hundreds. But the thing that we haven't said yet is peat. Now, Laphroaig is famous for its peat, for its iodine. The way to get it, you will get a little bit on the nose, but the best way to get it is on the taste. I don't know if these are... Yeah, Yamaoka. Are you for the 2:15 session? Yes, in you come. You're late. Please come in and take a seat. In you come.
I will come in later.
Okay. Oh, right. Please, there's a seat here, and there's 3 here. Oh, sorry. Please, there we are. And there's 1 there. Right, what we were on was the first sample. The one on the left-hand side. If you'd like to add a little drop of water to it, just a little drop of water. Right, now, we talked about the smells that come through when you add water. Now, I want you to taste it, but I don't want you to taste it the way it is. Right? If you taste Laphroaig, even with water, the flavour is so intense that you won't be able to taste the next one. And after you've tasted 2, there is no way that you'll taste the third one. I worked in a bar when I was a teenager. And the barman said to me, the owner said to me, right, when you're pouring the drinks, no problem. He said, if anyone comes to you and asks for a gin and tonic, he said, the first two glasses you pour for him are gin and tonic in it. He said, the third glass, you put, someone knows about See, I tell the truth. You actually put the glass, upend it, there's a little saucer of gin under the bar, you upend it in the gin and you fill it with tonic. And they can't tell the difference. Because after 3 drinks, you cannot tell the difference, correct? Right? Now, it's exactly the same with whiskey. So what I want you to do, you've all got a glass of water, right? I want you to take the glass of water in your left hand and the glass of whiskey in your right hand. Come on, you're double-handed. God gave you 2 hands to pick up 2 glasses. There's a seat up here. Now, what I want you to do is actually take a sip of the water and hold it in your mouth. I don't want you to swallow it. I want you to hold it and then take a sip of water straight in, a strip of whiskey straight into the water. Because I want you to drink water with whiskey, not whiskey with water. Right? It seems peculiar, but please try it. So a sip of water. Now what you will get all the flavour, but none of the alcohol. Correct? I've had to devise a way of tasting whiskey so I can taste 25, 30, 35 samples in a row. Right? I couldn't do that normally, even by adding water into the whiskey. It's impossible. Yeah. So I developed this way about 15 years ago. A sip of water and a sip of whiskey. You will get all the flavours, but you won't get any of the alcohol. It means you can taste all these and get all the different flavours, and after we've tasted them, we'll go back and start all over again and we'll drink it without the water. Right? But what you will immediately get that,
Sweetness.
You'll get sweetness, but you'll also get the peat. Yeah. Has anyone here tried licorice root? Right, think about licorice root, just at the edge of the tongue, both edges of the tongue. It's a slightly dry, dusty taste. That's the peat smoke. That's the normal peat smoke of Laphroaig. It's inherent into Laphroaig, it's traditional in Laphroaig. Try it again, take another sip of water and another sip of whiskey. And if you think about that licorice flavour, that's the traditional flavour. But what you also will get, you'll get some of the citrus flavours, some of the lemony lime flavours, rather than orange on the taste. You'll get orange on the smell, but on the taste you'll get a slightly lemony lime flavour. Now that's the 12-year-old that we produced for 2006. Now what I'd like to do is go on to the next one,